Hello everybody, and welcome to another video of mine. I know I haven't really posted much YouTube videos lately, with, life and everything else. So, this is a series of me kind of using real, NFL type stuff where every, first year gets that 5 years, and then 4 years after that. So I'll have to, kind of remember who I draft in the first round to get that 5 years. Technically, it's four, and they have a fifth-year option if the team wants to accept it. But majority of the time, when you play Madden stuff, you're hitting that 5-year option. So they'll get the 5 years, and then everyone else gets, four. Obviously, the CPU is going to be, different or whatnot. I think if not forsaken that, I think majority of the time they do the 4 years, maybe 3 years, or it could be two. This is Access Football 26, and I only kind of worry about my overall team and not really worry about everyone else. But we're gonna have this. We're gonna do the tiered style. What that is there's 3 tiers, and if you're on tier 1 is the toppest tier. If you're on tier 2, you're in between tier 1 and tier 3. Now the goal is to move up to tier 1 and stay to the top. And the way that you can get it's promotion or delegation are the words. And promoted meaning you moved up, and delegation you move down. So if you're on tier 1 and you are the last team out of 12 teams, you're in a tournament pool, meaning the top 4 of tier 2 go into a playoff style bracket. The winner of that place faces the person who is in 12th of tier 1, and if that person from tier 1 wins, they stay in tier 1. If the person from tier 2 wins against the tier 1 team, tier 1 team goes down to tier 2, and tier 2 goes up to tier 1. And then the championship is like a normal playoff in tier 1, where it's 8 teams, and they do a championship style, and whoever wins tier 1 is, overall the champion throughout, the whole thing. And it's the same thing from tier 2 to tier 3. If you're the last team on tier 2, you face the winning of the 4-team mini bracket of tier 3. If you win, you stay in tier 1, or not tier 1, you stay in tier 2, and if you lose, you move down to tier 3. And tier 2 goes up to tier 3 goes up to tier 2. So we're going to keep everything as I've kept it normal in all of my builds. We could have 8 teams in each tier, 6. I generally like the 36 as 12 teams. You face a couple of teams twice within your tier, and it's like a normal kind of like a 16-week type ordeal. Otherwise, you could move it to 10, have 8 teams per tier, and you have a better chance of going up, faster or slower, depending on that. So we're going to start it. And we're automatically in tier 3, which is what I like, but I want Green Bay Axemen out, because then there's like 2 teams from Wisconsin in it. And I know I did this last time. And it was like I'm gonna go back. Because then I looked at like who overall, so then like the NFC North was all up here, which was the Green Bay, Chicago, Detroit. Oh, I guess Minnesota Pride, which is on here. Yeah, which is right there. So there's that. Louisiana's right there. I think it was the Los Angeles Tide. That's who it was. Yeah, I don't see the Tide on here. So we'll remove them. Replace it with the Los Angeles Tide. Which obviously there should be 2 teams in Los Angeles, but in here, in this game, they only have 1 team. And it's kind of like the same teams each year. They may finer tweak on like which team it's representing that has, better statistics and stuff. And it's a letter grade of A plus is I would imagine 90 to 99, or A minus, I would imagine it's probably roughly like, yeah, your 90 to 99 is A minus, A and A plus, and then your B plus, B minus, and B is from 80 to 90, and then your C is from 70 to 80, and then like D, I haven't seen any D players, or maybe I have like D plus or whatnot, is probably from 60 to 70, stuff like that, and I haven't seen an F player at all in these games. So we're going to start it off, and like I mentioned, we'll kind of look at what's going on with standings here. So kind of going in depth of what I was saying before, or what I was saying before, and kind of seeing it. So if I were to finish in 1, 2, 3, and 4, which are these top four teams, is when I get in that 4-team bracket, and then we face that that's tier 1, and then we face the person that's at the bottom. So like right now it's Orlando, and it may not be Orlando, but for the sake of their ratings or whatnot that they put it right there, if Orlando would be on the 12 slot at the end of the season, then if we're in the top 4, we potentially could win that bracket if it's Orlando. And if we were to win, we go up to tier 2, and Orlando goes down to tier 3. And then for tier 1, it has this 8-man bracket style, and the winner of that is the overall tier 1, kind of like league championship, and Nebraska Thunder would be facing the winner of tier 2. And if they lose, they go down to tier 2, and whoever won goes up to tier 1. So, and it's just randomized, obviously, within the game. So I could have moved all these people around because some of these have really good teams, but they move up and down throughout the game, simulation-wise. So, with that being said, like I mentioned, this is going to be kind of realistic in a way of NFL contracts when it comes to the draft. 5 for round 1, 4 for 2 to 7. I kind of looked it up because I thought at least maybe the top 3 rounds would potentially get that 3rd round, or that 5th round, or the 5th year option. But then kind of looked it up, and it was 2020 when they started implementing it. So that is what caused the overall reason of that 5th year option when it comes to Madden and all that jazz. So there's that. And then we're going to go to the front office and kind of look at who we have going on if you remember kind of the first 3 episodes of this, Daryl Gonzalez is our head coach. And then position coaches we could change on and stuff like that. And you can move people from other positions to head coach, offense coordinator, defense coordinator, special teams, but you can't move from head coach, offense, defense, and special teams coordinator to the other position coaches, which I kind of find that hard because people move all the time, and it's not like it's a sad thing of, oh hey, you're not a head coach or an offensive coordinator, but you're still within the organization, and you may be a QB coach now or a wide receiver coach. Like, it happens all the time. But within this game, if you're one of these top 4 coaches or whatnot, you kind of can't move anywhere else. So within this guy, we're going to keep him, even though, well, I mean, overall, he has an A- with A in offense. But me personally, I go for the development, and he's a C+, but he also has this practice pro requires any coordinator 15% additional practice points. So, and team activity, that is kind of like your transaction. And then practice strategy, we can go to normal, and we have 2 more points that we can do, or we can do heavy, normal, light, which I kind of stay normal, but we can go heavy because why not? And then I kind of do 2, and then speed, strength, and endurance. Film study, I mean, you could, but then when it comes to other stuff, you can go block shedding, and blocking for the offensive lineman and stuff. So you have strength and endurance, speed and agility, block shedding, and blocking, all up there for defensive linemen, offensive linemen, the people at the trenches. So there's that. Now we're gonna kind of look at replace, I guess, like 1 or 2 position coaches, because then you eat that money because they have 5 years left. So if I were to release it, payout is $1 million because he still has a bit of money that we have to pay out, and then our net is we're losing $700,000. So basically we go down to $746 million. So within this QB coach, we are going to release him. We want a better QB coach. Now, what we can do is kind of look around, and we're also going to replace this running back coach as well. But overall, those are kind of like the 2 coaches so far, and everyone seems to have a C when it comes to coaches besides, the DB coach. So what we could do is, if we truly wanted to, running back coach, assign new coach, and assign down here anyone who would replace those coaches, which we're not going to. But we can, but we can't do, for example, we can't take these guys and put them into these positions because they're at the highest of, their roles and stuff like that. So we are going to hire a new coach, and even though he has a B, A- in offense, and B+ in development, we're kind of looking for that A for development, but also looking for a decent amount. So like this guy that we were looking, like this guy right here, B overall, A- in offense, B in defense and a B plus in development. Could potentially look at him for that position. Or we could look at maybe this guy right here, because he's going to be for the running back coach. So it's not going to be for the QB coach. And that's what we'll do. We'll do Zion, Lockett for the running backs. So he wants. I generally go for all 10 years. So that way it's paid for. But we could do like 5 years. But then, kind of do the full 10, because you just go up to 4, and then you don't have to worry about it for a very long time. Over the contract, they accept it. So now we have a B running back coach. That's B minus an attribute evaluation, B minus, development A minus, and defense has also a B minus. So he can, if that game puts it this way, he could also recognize what the defense can be doing overall. So like, for example, this A Hardy guy is great at doing the first 3. He's a B minus overall, A minus in offense, B minus in defense and evaluation, but he just has that C minus development, and that's what I'm not looking for. I'll just do that again. And this Jackson Skinner guy. He does have a B plus, but like we could use this W. Olsen guy for like a defensive coach as well. But we'll use this Jackson Skinner guy. He has a B plus in development, but it's A minus in offense, B in defense overall. So he has a decent attribute for it. I wouldn't want to use any of these guys when they don't really know the offense. So we'll just use this Jackson Skinner guy. Wants $5 million, 10 years. There. Evaluation C plus, but A minus in offense, B plus. Development, B plus overall. So there's that. Receiving coach, D-line coach. What I might do is usually I try to do D-line, linebacker, DB. He is linebacker expert, so we're going to keep him for right now, and we'll change this D-line coach since we found that very good coach. We're going to release him, 600. So we're going to hire a new coach, development. So this W. Wilson guy is going to be that replacement for that D-line coach. Offer him a contract, so he's got A development and stuff. B in defense, B plus defense, motivation and discipline. So he will be a good addition to our defensive line. So coaching staff is good for that, but we also want to look at, this is completely different because it's evaluation for scouts. C plus evaluation, A minus, A plus. So we're going to get rid of this C plus evaluation guy too. It's a little bit, but highest is a B plus, or B minus, I should say. Could look into this guy right here. So offensive defense, doesn't really have development and stuff, but he could be a good scout. So we'll give him 3.5 for 10 years. And he is a scout with evaluation of a B-. So, facilities, general seating, we'll purchase. Kind of leave a little bit of money left over. Weight room, we gotta upgrade. Practice fields, we don't have the money for it. So we're gonna leave that 9 mil because we, throughout the season, as we gain money a little bit, I add a couple of people onto the practice squad. Usually within the first year, it's like 5. That way you have that buffer a little bit. But throughout the season, though, too. And also I leave the buffer for any trades that potentially could happen because we will be requested trades. And if it's somebody, for example, we'll look at expiring contracts. So for example, Dean McDonald, he's on his last year of his deal. That 2.2, we just free that cap space for the 2.2 mil. We're not like Lucas Beasley that has 3 years left. We have to eat some of the contract payout in order for him to be moved on. And it's the same with everyone else. Or like this fullback, we just free cap space of 3.12. So we are kind of set with that. So I left that 10 million there, and as we play at home, we are going to gain funds and we'll just add people to the practice squad if necessary, because that A+ run or fullback is going to want 10 mil. We don't have 10 mil. So we could sign people like this 22-year-old that wants 700K for 2 years, but I'd rather not spend that money if I don't have to. So the coaching staff must have given us a boost for up to 64 because we were at a 60. So, team player progressions, stuff like that. So, all right. We are going to simulate this season. So we first start off with a loss. You get another loss too as well, and we may not be that good right now. So we have a 28-year-old ran for a Freeman, who is an outside linebacker, A+, that has a 2-year 15 mil. It's basically the same, similar deal with one less year in the contract. So I'm gonna keep that. We have outside linebacker, high ankle sprain. So with the 12 mil, could try and see if there's outside linebacker that's, fairly young. Is D+ awareness though, based off of speed. Could do this. He just has D- in man, and yeah. So I've seen F as in this, but their overall I haven't seen F. So we're gonna offer him a contract, 4 years, 7. Why don't I do 1 mil? Okay. So now that happens. Now what we can do for our outside linebacker, how long is he going to be out for? That's the thing. Go to practice squad. And you'll just go to the active roster. 4 weeks. Okay, so it's in 4 weeks. Depth chart, we will send him back. And the thing about this game is you have to have 53 people within it where Madden you can get away with the 47 players, but in here, in order to advance, you have to have the 53. With these free agents, I'm only going to do like 2-year contracts. So with these guys being pretty young, wants 6 point. With this guy, he wants 3 for 4. I guess whatever they want for the bare minimum. So he wants 4 years on 3 point. What's a bigger salary? So I'll just give him 4 mil. So whatever the years is, that's what I'll do. So then for our corners, we don't have anybody Bs, and so what I'm gonna do usually on an active roster, you only have 2 QBs. So one goes to the practice squad, and we're adding depths to our defensive back room. Our depth chart, and Jefferson McKnight is our starting best corner that we have. So we're slowly making moves. And then that outside linebacker, once he gets healed up, he'll be back on the active roster. So it said 4 weeks, so by week 6, he should be back, ready to go. So we're going to simulate. So we 1 by 10. See what kind of draft. It's, yeah, reject. One pretty decent amount. See if it's anything different. Probably. Oh, it is. All right. So we're going to reject that. We could take a first round this year and next year from Mexico. This is giving us a corner and a first round this year and next year, and that's giving us a wide receiver and a first round this year and next year. He is 28, so he is going to regress next year. This game at 28, you start to notice, like in Madden, the regression stage, where they may not go down as fast, but there's still a show proof of within their player progression that it goes down. So he's 25, he has 3 years left, so he'll be 28 at the end, and he's also a corner, so it adds more depth to that, and he'll be the highest corner. Then we have to find an inside linebacker to replace him, but we are getting 2 first-round picks. Where wide receiver room, let's kind of look at what our wide receiver room is looking like. We have a B+ wide receiver. Rest of them are C+. But within that, he is 24, he has 2 years, so he'll be 26. So next year will be his last year on this deal. So it'll be 25, where this one we'll have him for 2 years, and we both get first round picks this year, next year. This one's just flat out saying, hey, we'll give you first round picks. I'm going to reject that. Wide receivers we can get in the draft, so we'll go with the corner here that we'll get for 2 more years and 2 first round picks from Nebraska. So we've accepted that. It's got 2 weeks, so like I mentioned, so it's got 2 weeks, so week 6. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted. So we're going to look for, since we did swap for swap, we're going to look at inside linebacker. And there's a 22-year-old. So he wants 3 years. Probably wants 2 for 3. That's what we'll get him. Because I'm only giving the bare minimum. I'm trying to keep it like within the draft NFL realistic, and then this is whatever they want for the bare minimum. So he's gonna accept that. So then we're going to send, if we do auto depth, so now we have Raymond Boyd and Jefferson. So Brentley Hammond is going to go to the practice squad. So linebacker is injured, and this guy is going to go to the active roster. Auto depths. So now we have 3 inside linebackers now, and they're all C pluses. So this is the guy we just signed, and then these are the people that are on the roster. Now I did see a wide receiver B- that we could pick up. He's 23 too as well. So we have 2 23-year-olds. He wants 4. He wants 6 for 4. We'll give him that. He wants 3. Probably wants the 5. 5 for 3. So now we've upgraded on that. And that's typically 5 people. So we're going to look at here. Wide receiver. Since we have Quentin Steele. But hey, Quentin, you're going to get some help now, buddy. Because we have a couple wide receivers that we picked up from the free agent pool that are now going to be on the active roster, and you're not going to be the only one that's a B. So now we got Quinn Steele, Bryson Kane, and Samuel Thompson that are 23 years old. So there's that. Good morale here right now. We'll get that inside linebacker in a couple of weeks. So now we're going to simulate the next. We lost. It's fine. Trade request. They want center Robbins for a 2nd round pick. Is he our backup right now? I'd imagine so, otherwise they wouldn't have. Oh no, he's our starting, but our backup is 3 years younger, and we can find another center. So yeah, we'll take that. We'll definitely take that. We'll take a 2nd round pick. Except, so now we got to find a center. B-, B-. We could literally just 23 years old. Perfect. B-, 23-year-old, 3 for 4, and he accepted. Theodore Ward. How many years do we have left for him? So Carter Howard is on his last year of his deal. Could trade him for more, but he's on his last year of his deal. I wish you could do like trade blocked stuff on this game, but you really can't. Nobody needs a tight end. I need running backs and stuff, or inside linebackers, but nobody really needs a tight end. I wouldn't do it with, I could do it within our inner tier. But I wouldn't do it to Las Vegas since I've done stuff I would. So If I were to, I wouldn't send Lucas Beasley because he's 23 and, I mean, let's see, any first round this year, next year, that'd be salary refund of $6 million since this is last year of his deal. But I want to see if I can add a third one, like a better offer. Like what, a 7th round pick? 3 7th round picks. Return. So probably this would work. 2 first round picks within this year. Or if I truly wanted to, do it 26 and 27 for him, because I already have 2 first round picks, 2 second round picks, and then it would just begin 3 next year and first round the year after. Okay, they would like a better offer. Okay, so that's not going to work for them. I want a guard. Is our Theodore Ward a guard? He is. So we'll add a first and a first next year for this guy. We'll add our 7th round picks for you. Still like a better offer. So this guy is now worth 2 first round picks. And if that's the case, then I'll do here 3/3. Okay, got that done. So you got a new guard. Looking for a fullback, tier 1. We're gonna add our Carter Howard because sometimes tight ends can be used. We're gonna do seconds across the board. See if that'll work. Okay, so we have now 3 second round picks, 2 third round picks, and 2 first round picks for this coming up draft. Oh, we have 3 second round picks. Okay. Now, and next year we have 2 first round picks, 2 second round, and 2 third, and then 1 first, 2 second, and 2 third. And then what I kind of do is kind of intermingled. So what I like to do is it really don't matter to me for 7th round picks. So I just kind of throw them all. I would like a 6th round next year and a 6th round year after that. There. So now I don't have any 7th round picks, which, I mean, it really doesn't matter. I try to just get up the board as much as possible. So like by 2027, I would like maybe 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. So now I have within the bottom essentially 3, 4, 6, 8 picks within the bottom that I could try and get for, like, say next year, second round pick, a 3rd round pick, or just try to all, you know, try to gain 1st through 4th is the best overall to pick within players and stuff. So like for a package within, I will gonna do a 6th and a 5th for a Oh, since I already traded with them for a 4th this year. There. So now all I have is literally 1st through 4th this year. So I have 2 players that I pick in the 1st round that will have 5-year contracts, and then the rest will have 4. So, and eventually down the line, I'll try to get rid of these as well. And it could be for players and not necessarily draft picks. So, and right now, cap space, we have 169 million and 39 million of funds. So at the end of the year, it's going to subtract the $169 million worth of funds. So now I really got to stay at the minimal within money reasons. So we have 2 empty spaces. Then our roster, as we got rid of our tight end. And so outside linebacker, we'll just keep him on the practice squad for right now. The corner, we'll just keep him there. So we got to sign a guard and a tight end though. And that will be it. Tight end, he's 30. He's 23. So 1 mil 4. We're going to do the 1.5 for 4. Generally, then half to a full mil they will sign. 22-year-old, 1 for 2. So whatever years they want, they're going to get. So that is that. They may make it or break it for us. So we're going to simulate. So we lost. We won. We won again. We're 4-4. We got 77 million. We lost. We won by 3. We lost by quite a bit. We won by 25. Lost. All right. So we do have a lot in cap space. I thought at the end it would take that much, but so within retirees, so we have Maurice Slaughter. That was our defensive end. He's retired. So player contracts. Dean McDonald. You want 4 years for 3 mil. Maybe potential. We'll see about that. Fullback, he wants 3 years for 6. We'll offer that. And we're good for wide receivers for right now. All these guys are going to be, well, Junior and Eldon Fuller are, they have 1 year left. They're probably going to be on the practice squad. Well, maybe one of them. Because we are going to try and find a wide receiver in the draft. Tight end. We're going to look in the draft. Offensive tackle. Guard. 27. What do you want? He wants 3 years for 8 mil, basically. Do that. A plus. He wants 20 mil. 4 years. We'll do that. You're gonna walk. I'll let you guys walk. I don't think I put him back on the active roster anyway after his injury, but what do you want? You want 2 for basically $1 million? Nah. You want 5 for $1 mil? You want 5 for 1.3. No. He wants 5 for 4. That will work for me. Safety. Punter. I'll do that for the punter. So on that, I'm going to release all these guys. So we potentially can get upgrades and stuff. So, and also within the draft as well. So, like I mentioned, Tier 3 playoffs. So Vancouver won against Seattle, and then Boston won against Carolina. So then they faced each other. And then Vancouver won, so they were the Tier 3 playoff winner. Atlanta was the 12th position standing in their standings. So they had to face Vancouver, and Vancouver won. So Vancouver is now going to go to Tier 2, and Atlanta is going to come down to Tier 3. And we were 7-9, so we were 4 off of that. But since Atlanta lost, they're going down, and they were 3-13 at the end. So it was between like a plus or minus at this point for Orlando and Atlanta, stuff like that. So then Tier 1, I think Cleveland won the whole thing, as you could see with the win 3. But Los Angeles tied, got demoted delegation, got demoted, and Pittsburgh moved up for winning that. So free agency, we're gonna go to the draft first and then I guess it's free agency then the draft. But we also got to look at our front office to see if there's any coaches we have to re-sign before I get too willy-nilly. No, there's not. Okay, good. So, facilities, that's all excellent when it comes to the field. Training, we'll do that. Do all that for right now. And rehab, we'll have to do that after, but until we like end the season and start, ranking up the funds. But 60 million is what I need right now, especially with how many draft picks I have. So I have 2, 5, 7, 9 draft picks right now. So, and I could trade those for players too, which I possibly could. But I just want to see what's in free agency right now. See if there's any like decent people within age. There's this guy. Pass rush. What does he want? 4 mil for 2 years. Side linebacker. 24, B- tackling. Zone coverage, man coverage is decent. Zone coverage and C+ speed. I think he was on my team, but could get this Trenton. What does he want? 5 for 4. Go maybe 2 for 5. He's on the roster already. I think I'm good for inside linebacker then. So I have 3 of them. Yeah. I'll need an outside linebacker. Or maybe we don't. Maybe we can send him back. But probably if we truly wanted to. See if there's any player progression. So Harley Bass, he's basically done. Running back wise, we'll probably pick one up in the draft because Devin Burks is regressing. Got the fullback that's going up. Junior Smith, Alden Fuller going down because they're 31. Everyone else is regressing. And then tight end Merritt Holt. That's a tackle. Guard. Okay. Defensive tackle. The end. Yeah, at least we kept 1, but at least decent. So is the game bugging right now? So he's progressed there. Yeah, or maybe we only have 1 inside linebacker right now. Corners are all progressing nicely. Free safety, strong safety. So, yeah, we can slowly promote these, or, upgrade. So it's strong safety. Look to upgrade. Running back. O-line, whether it be guard, center, or tackle. And tight end. I have a decent amount of draft picks for it, so right in the draft, and it'll end the free agency period. There was really nothing for me within the free agency period, so player pool, team guide, team summary. So we're pick 5 and 32, 5 and 8. There's another second round pick. And then, so our pick is number 5. And whoever we drafted with after that. Oh. So we're going to skip to our pick. So this guy for QB. We could look. It's picking him up. We don't necessarily need him because we also need a running back. Don't need a fullback. Tight end we do need. Offensive tackle would be nice. Then these three are going to be A's. That's going to be an A for sure. Center. Defensive tackle does not look good. The end does. Inside linebacker does not look good. Just fine. Inside linebacker does though. Corner. I mean, we have decent corners, so, but this guy is like generational. Strong safety. Kicker. Usually they don't get picked right away though. Quarterback we don't need now, but it would be nice to pick up another decent backup, but corner just seems so good though. Yeah, we're picking up the corner. Yeah, the QB was picked up, running back was picked up. Okay, so strong safety is the 5-year. Tight end. Yeah, this is our guy. So tight end. So team summary. So round 241. So okay. So RW and C. Oh, okay. That's all I really needed to write that down. Oh. Player pool. So now it's just upgrades. For now. Speed. He's a C minus, but he could be a B because of his TLB. But catching is a B or a C. Awareness is a B. Oh, pass right now. Wide receiver. I think we're decent with that right now. Offensive tackle. I think it's a guard that we need more than anything, though. I'll go with the guard. That'll be our backup QB. So this is our third offensive tackle. All right, now we're in the third round. Is there anything? Box pass rush. Awareness, tackling, man, zone coverage. Not really much to choose from. It's either they're good at awareness and suck everything else, or they're good at everything else and not good with awareness. Besides this guy with D+ speed, but still. Corner-wise, free safety. It says we need a punter, so there we go. Punter is a B+. So guard, defense tackle, D end. So we're slowly improving. So the corner and the tight end get the 5-year contracts. Everyone else gets a 4-year. So 4 for 2. 5 for 3. Perfect. All right, he wants the 4-year. Guard 4 for a mil. 4 for 3. 4 for a mil. Safety 4, 4, 2. There we go. Oh, that fills up the 53. But we're gonna send Harley now to the practice squad. Alright, sent to the practice squad. There's floor, I could stay there. Oh, we do have a spot for the corner. Wide receiver. So then I have 2 extra corners, so that's fine. Okay. All right. That's a tackle. I think we have 1 too many. And send him. Tight end. So we only got 51. Okay. So could we pick up on the running back, wide receiver? Nobody. Everybody's 33. Tackle. Trying to get better upgrades than past a C plus. Seems like that's that or you're a corner. 22 years old. 2 years, 3 mil. Perfect. I can do that for you. Strong safety, pay minus awareness. So the person we just signed is straight to the starting spot. Also, I needed a free safety anyway. spots. But it probably doesn't hurt with some of these people, especially wide receiver for a year. But he's B- overall, but he's got C's and everything else. Like this guy's got C's and everything. Same with this guy. B in fitness, D in fumble. He's got A- in fitness and everything else, but these two. He's got F in pass block, like I would sign him. He's got C's and everything. Wants 4 years for $2 million. So I'll take that. It's probably catching. But we're not. 10-wise. Oh, he's already up there. Okay. So I'll just keep that. Yeah, it's the tight end and the tackle. I'll sign one more person. Could be a corner, to be honest. Nah. Outside linebacker, we could use an extra one. Pneumatic stone. Okay. It's just in case for injuries, because obviously. Oh, and he's now the starting. Okay. I don't know, it was like the hip power that beat it to it, but okay. So that is the roster for the next season. So that being said, hopefully you enjoy this episode and have a good rest of your day.